right, fun show. Jerry Rice coming in. We got Dan Dibley and Mark Willard coming in. A little changeover action on a Victory Monday. What's up, boys?
Hi, boys. Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned it's a Victory Monday because it seems as if some didn't necessarily take that as a full victory.
You know what?
Style points?
You know what?
They want some more style points?
You know what? Style points? People who never played sports before complain about wins like that.
Yeah.
You're going to have some ugly wins along the way. You're going to have some ugly wins. They're not all going to be pretty.
It's a great win. That's not a bad football team. You know what I mean? It's not a great football team. It's an injured football team.
Herbert's good.
Herbert's very, very good.
He's really good.
Very, very good football player. But, I here's what I'd focus on. 3 weeks ago, we actually had segments. We had conversations about this. Why do the 49ers win every first quarter and then stink after that? This is 2 games in a row that they've pitched a shutout in the second half. It's 2 games in a row they trailed at halftime and won. So we spent a lot of time in the first 7 weeks of the season saying, Kyle never comes back. Kyle never comes back. I was almost happy when the Chargers went knife through butter on that opening drive.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, here comes the adjustment. I'm like, D'Amico's got this, and they never smelled the end zone again.
Nope.
Well, and so that was
yards in the second
that
half.
was really good. That's how you win football games.
Agreed. I had a hard time not thinking that the big play for me, the sequence, was when Greenlaw hits Herbert, and then they don't check on Herbert. I'm screaming from my seats. I'm like, he needs to get checked. Blue tent. If you're going to throw this guy out of the game.
They put the tent up.
I know, but it took forever, and I don't know what happened. It's because I can't see the highlights or whatever. It looked like some of the Niners staff was yelling, and I'm yelling, like, get him, at least check on him for a play.
Right.
Chase Daniels comes in, zaps all the momentum of that drive.
Totally.
Because it felt like they were going to score. Now, I don't know if they were going to. That was a big sequence to hold them to a field goal there.
Yeah. And they held them to 3, and then that was just about all they had the rest of the way. And the defensive adjustments in the second half. And we're going to get into the hit. And I should have printed out a copy of this for you guys because it's the pool report because we all want the officials to be accountable. So Walt Anderson, the VP of officiating, actually spoke to Matt Barrows yesterday.
Oh,
there's a full-on explanation
about Greenlaw?
as to exactly.
I just didn't understand because I have it here, Dibs. Thank you guys.
You're welcome.
It's a page and a half long, and I thought it could have been much shorter. It could have been, he's a quarterback, so that's that. And we messed up.
Well,
that could have been the entire.
That's my problem. Do you think Jimmy? I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut. Do you think Jimmy gets that call?
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
you think so?
I actually do.
That was an easy garden variety lowering of the helmet,
which he didn't.
And an ejection.
He didn't. Yeah, but we'll get to it.
The ejection's debatable.
What about the pump by Wisnowski and Terry McCauley on NBC, basically saying that should have been a touchback? He didn't set his feet.
So I saw a lot of football players actually go to social media and go, no, it's not. It's not a touchback.
Yeah.
It was weird, though. I don't know. What did you guys think in the moment? Because in the moment, I'm like,
I can't see it. It's on the opposite end of the field.
Oh, you guys were there.
I can't even see it. They don't show replay.
I was like, that's a great punt. That's a great punt.
It was a great punt.
Great play by Womack, who quietly, Womack the third is making some good special teams plays.
He almost ran into Ray McLeod on a punt return.
He did.
I'm like, get out of the way.
But he's made some good plays down in the football and making some nice tackles on special teams. So
special teams is a problem, though. And you had the earlier caller say he was great, but he was wrong on the one thing because that punt does not go down as a blocked punt.
Because he went forward.
It's a deflected punt. So even though teams lose 85, this guy was unbelievable.
Yeah. It was great data.
Teams that get a punt blocked lose 85% of the time.
Well, that was Alex in Atlanta.
Alex was cash money. That punt, I believe, goes down as a deflected punt because it still went forward. Yeah. So it doesn't really qualify for his quaint stat.
Did special teams, and they missed an extra point, which did come down the stretch.
Said it all year. Teams aren't special. They're a kickoff team, punt team. But you know what? You gotta clean it up.
Bears went out and lost a football game because of a missed extra point.
Exactly.
Bears lost a football game yesterday.
I got to give Belichick credit on that
almost lost because of Joseph missing the extra point.
Belichick was all over the extra point moving back. Like it used to be the 3, and then they moved it back. Belichick was on like, hey, if you just up the ante to 25% of misses or whatever it is, they'll just be
probably 10%. But the last year that they had the extra point at the 2, 99.6%.
Okay, and what is it now?
I'd have to check, but I think it's closer to 90.
But it's not a
But
gimme.
it's a thing.
Can we
now.
all agree? Yes,
No,
that's what I'm
and
saying.
and it shouldn't be. Why would we have
Good.
gimmies?
I'm with you.
What if somebody gets
Guru
fouled
wants to
going
do
to
away with the whole PAT in general.
No.
He wants to just give him 7.
Yeah, no.
And let's move
No,
on.
I don't want that.
No.
I don't mean
because
to,
now teams
throw
are going
Guru-
for
yeah.
some teams are going for 2. Some teams
Yeah.
are like, you know what, screw
Look.
like Philadelphia today.
Yep.
They
Yeah.
may go for 2. Be like, you know what, screw the extra point. We're gonna and it makes teams chase points. It makes teams chase points, and all of a sudden you're behind the 8
I
ball.
like
So
it. It was
yeah,
a
I love
subtle
it.
change that no one talks about, and I think it's been a good addition to the game.
I'm looking at everybody's team by team here for 2022. I can't get a collective, but we do have certain teams. The Denver Broncos are all the way down at 81% for extra points this year.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
There you go.
You do have still about 10 teams in the league that are 100%. But you've got 6 teams that are under 90%.
Okay.
for
Yeah, so
extra
it
points
probably
this year.
sits about 90,
Yeah.
somewhere in
I'll
there.
take that.
Yeah,
But
something
it's
like
at
that.
least a thing to where, like, now you kind of have to watch it, especially late in games.
And wait till the weather starts to kick in.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
Pun intended, kick in. I like what you're doing there.
I didn't even think of
Even
that.
though we're all on short rest, poor Mark was doing like 17 things last night. I mean, we all
poor, yeah,
we all were
I
busy.
mean-
Bonte's in the 200s. It's funny, Mark, because I can see Butch from our press box. Lucas, actually, the
Yes.
great Lucas Alexander. I was up there with E-Dog and Lucas, and he's like, Joe's right there. And I look, and in a sea of people, I can see this guy.
Of course you can.
It's like, oh
Of
my
course
God,
you
of
can.
course that's him. White jacket, every single play. He's either up, throwing his hands up, he's clapping, he's pointing, he's gesturing. It was pretty funny watching him.
One thing my man is authentic.
Yeah.
One thing my man is authentic.
I couldn't figure out where
Yes.
Bonte was. I would have loved to
good.
see you and Baby
Don't
Chad.
worry, I got Uncle Diego, Uncle Ziri next to me. I got Sean on the other side. We're laying in the cut. We're
Okay.
we're low key chilling.
I like it.
We got
Bonte-
sport
228, right? Is that
Bonte
where you are?
he was in the changing room, which, by the way,
Yeah.
that's what we should call this segment, by the way. The
changing
changeover.
room.
Yeah,
this
I
should
like
be the
that.
changing
I
room.
do like that.
Yeah, this
I
should
do
be
like that.
this
The
is
change room. Get
room.
more changing stations.
Trust me.
Now, some people say
Your boy
you
was up
should
at
take
3
your baby
a.m.
to the game.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Get off
Come
me.
on, no,
Get
you
off
got
me.
to. Hey, you got a Niner fan to build.
And I'm proud of
building
you.
Niner fans over
She's
there.
doing the ayu,
Yeah.
ayu after everybody does it. She's looking around like ayu. And she's doing the
love it.
defense. And Uncle Diego last night was like, "Baby Chess, you good?" Fed her, gave her some popcorn. She was chilling.
Good.
She was chilling.
She
playing,
enjoyed herself,
playing.
huh?
No,
She
loved
enjoyed
it.
the game.
Getting in third quarter, started winding down a little bit. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
good.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah. Great pregame though with the paratroopers coming in.
Yep.
Salute
Dude,
the
how
service,
cool is
the
that?
flyover. It's
Dude,
funny
that
because
flyover was loud.
I was, I'm up there in the press box and I was eating my third dinner and I'm like, man, this is some good eating. And I
Hey,
look, I'm
by
like,
the way.
oh, how cool, a paratrooper. And I look, I'm like, there's another one.
No,
And I'm like,
forget
oh
that.
my God.
Dibs, I gotta know because I haven't been in the press box all season.
Yeah.
Lucas
I'm due.
brought goodies.
Yeah. So,
bags of
what was the
goodies.
pregame spread?
Wow, which
Because
one?
they usually have the outlet bar. They usually have the outlet bar.
Your boy's
the
still
lasagna.
hurting.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you,
Your boy was
Sunday's a
up at
free
about
day
4
for me.
in the morning. I had to rush to the bathroom.
I know about the halftime nachos. They bring out the chips, the chili, and the
yeah,
cheese,
small
and the
sponsorship,
chicken
dude.
strips.
Yeah.
They bring out the chicken strips.
I opened up with like the meat. There's like the meat platter. There was
Yeah,
like
they got the prime rib.
Yeah, so I went meat and then talked to Michael Silver, Matt
nice.
Barrows, many other people, and I'm like, you know what? I'm still a little hungry.
Did they have the mac and cheese
So,
out there?
No, I went back and they like have that center station.
Yeah,
that
the center
island,
station,
and
yeah.
I don't even know what it was. He just gave me a bowl of something. It was
Take
like
it.
ramen with some other meat.
Oh my gosh!
all right, the
Dude, I missed
flyover.
that.
And I had a drumstick.
Did
and a
the halftime nachos? Did he go there?
Dude, your boy was. I mean, I went back.
I'm telling you,
I was Chris
Shasky.
Berman. I went back.
Your boy will put on 10 pounds on Sundays. Go to that press
Well,
box.
Lucas
Good.
came down and he had a
Good.
bag full of candies. He was handing
Yeah.
out gummy bears
Yeah,
and
they have
Starburst.
candy.
and
They have
it was the
everything.
pick me up I
You
needed.
get the Pete's coffee.
Yeah.
You
Lucas
got
was
everything.
handing out gummies at halftime.
Yeah,
Then
not
after
those
the game,
kind.
Not
after,
surprised.
then
Yeah.
after the game, they get the pizza spread. You got the beer. You got the it's ice cream.
Oh
you got
my
everything.
gosh.
So I know that press.
You know
box. I know that
NFL
spread.
NFL business is booming.
No,
because it's the only
no.
sport left where they're like,
Thank you.
First of all, you're going to have 20 meals and they're all free.
Yeah, yeah.
Every other
All
sport
of you.
is like you get one meal
Yeah.
and it's going to be $15.
Well, unless you went to
Yeah.
Raider Caves where you get the hot dog and the stale popcorn and you get the soda machine that's not really pouring out soda. That's a different.
Yeah, good
the
call.
cow.
Good
Yeah.
call.
So when they do the flyovers, you could tell because they'll show it on the jumbotron that a plane is gonna fly over. So in our section, they come over our part first to go, I guess, south to north or whatever from the stadium. And so there's a guy, a couple rows back. I can't make this up. He's got the phone up, okay, and here comes the plane. Now you could feel it come over the stadium.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it was
Hell
like-
yeah.
and he goes flying forward, head into the seat 2 rows down.
No.
Can't make this up. I thought someone punched him from behind. He goes, I got discombobulated because I was trying to record it on my phone and trying to live in the moment. Dude, he could have got hurt.
I hope you pulled out your blue tent, because it sounds to me like he's in the protocol. You gotta check him out.
Hey, Mark, if he was 2 rows back, he would have, and near the front, he could have fell over. Over the overlap basket and landed in Bonta's
that
lap.
happens. Yeah.
Scary as hell. But anyway, people not paying attention, drunk as hell.
And just memo to everyone out there, put your phone down. Mark and I have had this conversation.
Live in the moment.
Of all the times you pull your phone out to capture something, how often do you actually go back and look at that video?
Wow,
that's a good call. That's a great call.
Not only that, there are certain things in life, they just don't translate to the phone, and a flyover is completely one of them.
Definitely.
We've all tried to do that. By the way, your concert seats, they look worse on the phone. You're never going to post that on social so someone can be like, wow, great seats. No, you look further than you actually were. Watch the concert.
Yeah.
Just watch the
Me
concert.
and Kobe went to see Tiger Woods, and it was the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach, and it was like, this is iconic. You know what I mean? Every person on both sides, it's like 40 deep through the whole 400 yards of the first hole on both sides. Every single person had their phones out, and I didn't. I was one of the only. And I'm like, dude, no one is in the moment. They're all watching it through here. Tigers, from me to you.
What year was this? Was this the year that he won by
4 years ago?
No.
This was Pebble.
Not the year that he won by 15.
It was wet. It
that was like early 2000.
That was 2000.
I was at that one, and my God, people were fighting. I watched fights because people were just trying to see him. Just trying to get in position to see him.
At that time.
But that's
there were phones. I mean,
not like now.
Not like now.
Not like
So now you had the flip phones.
Yeah, exactly.
I had the Nokia.
Nokia with the
little
snake.
burner.
It's what makes the Masters so nice. It's what makes the Masters so nice, because when you watch the Masters, there's no phones, and I'm not trying to be all like, oh, no cell phones, but everybody's in the moment and like they're paying attention. When I go to a golf event and I'm out there, everybody's got their phone, and I'm like, dude, you're like trampling over people. You're not paying attention, and you're not even the guy's from here to you, and you're not even in the moment. I don't know. I find it weird.
Yep. I mean, that makes it like everything else in life. I mean, we're totally watching the whole life through the phone. But I don't want any more of these quotes because we sound 88 years old when we say that. So that's just how it is.
It's just the nature of it now.
That is.
But I mean, what do you do? Last night I was on my phone doing the BetQL chat, and unfortunately I had the Niners -7
touchdown at the end.
Yeah. And that's to me where when you start talking about like it's a win's a win. We're gonna get into it.
Not in the gambling world.
That game went exactly the way it should have from a gambling standpoint, except they stink in the red zone.
Well, you know what?
2 of 5 in the red zone last night.
I was thinking about this, but I was thinking about this in terms of just even if you want to think about it, like analytics. Okay, the reason I thought they'd go for it on 4th down there at the end is because if you don't get it, yes, you're still only up by a field goal, but they've got the ball at the 1 yard line.
And they got to go 99.
Right. Well, no, they don't need to go 99 because they only need a field goal to tie.
No,
right? This is if you don't. Right. Play the.
I'm talking about to win the game.
If you kick the field goal, you're up 6. But now I got to kick the ball into a speedster's hands. Yeah. Like, did everybody else have their heart skip a beat just when there's here comes the return? I'm like, oh my gosh, please tackle this guy. What is the better mathematical play? Would you rather have the other team down 3 with the ball at the 1 or down 6
I thought about
with the ball out at the 30? It's essentially the same amount of yardage.
Right.
But obviously you need a little bit harder to get a touchdown than a field goal.
I think part of it is field conditions and situations. And, we saw in that Buffalo-Minnesota game where Buffalo had the lead.
Unbelievable.
And Josh Allen can't even get the snap. So
that was crazy.
Bad thing, and we've seen Jimmy G, bad things can happen when you're in the shadow of your own goal line. But if I have Justin Herbert on the other side, I'd rather have him need a touchdown, especially the way my defense is playing.
Yeah. It's probably, I think that's what Kyle thought too. But
I thought about that though. I was like, you go for it there. You get on the long field, just like the previous possession, yards. And they couldn't do anything.
It's probably going to go like the way the Chargers were going in the second half. They weren't going to move the ball.
Yeah,
they were going to. You're going to win the game either way. But I was just trying to think as I'm sitting here, what's the better mathematical play? But it all worked out.
Hey, Jimmy played well yesterday.
Look,
how about that?
It's 6 games in a row.
Fine.
It's 6 games in a row of Jimmy didn't mess it all up.
Right.
Like, right?
That's all we want.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not
he's
trying
on
to, I'm not diminishing him. I don't want to diminish him.
No. And
just play well.
Right. There's no reason to fawn over him either. There wasn't anything amazing, but
that's okay.
This 6 game, really, if you go from Denver, forget Denver for a sec, because that was just disgusting. But since then, it's really been everything that you would hope or expect it to be. And I know, like, sometimes that only leads to 20 points or whatever, but
yesterday it's all you needed. Yeah. And like, I'm looking at the Elijah Mitchell edition. Boy, the 1-2 punch, because they were all over McCaffrey, and it felt like going to Elijah really opened things up. He had great vision, patience, speed. If he could stay healthy, they've got something with both these backs.
No doubt. And I think it's funny, too, because I know we came out of the bye and everybody wanted a show, and you didn't really get a show. But you got a lot of people. Okay, you got one of two things here. Wait a minute. Christian McCaffrey, it needs to pop, and it should be great and all this. Like 3 weeks ago, you're like, I can't believe you acquired this guy. He's always hurt. Like, don't ask for Christian McCaffrey right, Christian McCaffrey left, Christian McCaffrey up the middle. Eli Mitchell getting the same, essentially the same touch count is a great thing because you want Christian McCaffrey healthy in January. Yes. That's what you want. Yes. I don't want fantasy. I don't want a show. I want Christian and Eli healthy in January.
And you want to be able to run it 40 times. They're 12-0 under Shanahan when you have 40 carries. So if you have Eli Mitchell and you have McCaffrey and you have Debo and you can run it 40 times, it doesn't matter what Jimmy Garoppolo does. You're going to win the game.
I didn't know that stat. 40 or more, 12-0.
12-0,
That's
yeah.
good.
That's officially from the Niners post game. I went through a lot of the post game, including Walt Anderson, and I will share with you.
So what happened?
Since you got the referee thing going,
what happens?
How about the 2-minute reports going against the Warriors against Sacramento last Monday, and of course Friday night saying Clay set an illegal screen that led to a
left his feet.
That screen was beyond illegal.
Yeah, I
mean if that was Dre Greenlaw, Clay gets 15 yards and Clay's ejected. But you know what? Hey, sometimes those calls go your way.
And they need them.
Are you worried about the Warriors?
I've been worried.
Yeah,
I've been worried.
You're worried too, Bart?
Finally.
Well, no, I put not worried. I don't know what's the word. I took my concern meter off of 0 because I promised Dibs that if they didn't win any games on that road trip, I'll get off of 0. But I went to like 2
on a scale of 1 to 10.
But you know what I'm feeling right now? Like it just looked like a team that Steph can't be good. Steph has to be great. If he goes off, they can win. And if he doesn't go off,
they're in trouble.
They can't win.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like right now.
Well, and Dre's playing.
I'm not saying it's going to be like that the whole year, but that's how it looks right now.
It just doesn't look good right now. And like Dre's playing, I feel like a really good brand of basketball. Wiggins hit and miss at times. He played really good.
Wiggins has had 2 stinkers this year. Charlotte and Detroit. Outside of that, Wiggins
he's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the Clay Poole thing that I can't overlook. The two of them, one of them has to play better for them to be like a competent team.
And they were like better yesterday. They weren't great.
Well, it's
they
the
were
other
better
side
than
of the
they've
floor.
been.
It's the other side of the floor.
Totally.
It's defense. They can't stand in front of nobody, whether it's Clay, whether it's Poole, or, defensively as a team, they are atrocious right now.
They had a really good fourth quarter against Cleveland on Friday night, defensively.
Just
defensively.
Yep.
Especially the late possessions.
And they but it takes everything. That's what I worry about. Like, it looks to me like it takes all of their effort to play great defense and then all of Steph's tricks on offense, or else
young athletic teams are giving this team problems. Yeah. Because they're getting a little older, young athletic teams
and
like
you
Sacramento.
Can't play your young athletes. That's the really galling thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Wiseman is Captain DNP right now. Kuminga's in and out.
Moody's out of the rotation.
So you have a young athletic team too, but they're unplayable. Yeah. So now you have a rotation of like 4 guys. You don't even have 8 or 9 that you can play right now.
And is JaMychal Green even playing?
No, he's not playing either. Another DNP for him as well. So, if this continues to go the Warriors' way in terms of like getting blown by on defense and losing all these games, Dibs and Willard and Shasky, there's going to be some moves made. Yeah. You can say, hey, the value's down on these youngsters. Some team out there will take a chance on Wiseman or Kuminga if that has to happen. And they'll get a vet back on an expiring contract, and we'll see what happens.
Do they still hold the lottery in Secaucus? Sadly, I need to start Googling that because
Victor
Wembanyama. Yeah.
No, stop
I don't know if they're going to have enough balls in the hopper to get Wembanyama, but
How about the Lakers being bad and they're not even going to get their pick?
New Orleans gets it.
Yeah, I know.
Right. It's so great.
It is great. It is so great.
Cool.
They got to win the Nets. Let's relax.
Hey. Oh, Spinoni's happy about something.
I was going to say, did the Lakers hold up? They did. They beat the Nets last night.
Yeah, they beat the Nets. They beat KD and them.
It was so funny.
Back-to-back for Brooklyn and L.A.
LeBron, by the way, all three of their wins.
You got to have something to be happy about, Spinoni. I was just watching the Matty Ice 30-yard scramble and
40.
run.
Don't come short.
He went for 40. My fault.
You lost the bet with the Niners. I lost in the consolation bracket because I took the Raiders over Jets Saturday.
Oh, man.
And I knew they were going to lose when I did that. I knew. I was like, they're going to lose this game.
Derek Carr was crying.
Poor guy.
Spadone, how you doing? He was crying. He was crying after the game.
I know.
Derek
I feel
Carr.
bad for the guy.
Yeah, you do?
And you're not even the biggest
He's
Carr
been through
fan.
like 6 head coaches in 9 years and never had a stable organization. His number one wide receiver killed a person last year, lost a head coach, and now he's in another dumpster fire. I feel bad for the guy.
Well, 510 wants to hear Dibs' opinion on the officials Friday night against the Cavaliers for the Warriors because, Fitz was not happy.
No, and if Fitz isn't happy, by the way, Fitz is never happy when the team is losing. So there you have it. I mean, nobody turns on the officials when he's broadcasting a losing team faster than Bob Fitzgerald.
Okay, but spotlight on
using his bag.
Spotlight on the end when they did the review where Draymond Green, they review it. They did not uphold essentially what they originally called, but instead they're like, yes, we're going to uphold a foul. And I mean, it was literally the only contact between the two human beings was Draymond's sort of a fingertip on the forearm.
Easy call. He raked him with the one finger. I thought the officials had a tough night on Friday night.
Who was the lead guy? Was it Guthrie? What's his name? Who was it Friday? I forget. He was terrible. He was bad.
And this is always my default when it comes to criticizing the officials. I don't think that we appreciate how difficult it is to officiate that sport.
Agreed.
And the NFL, we all want to talk about the Dre Greenlaw and, whether or not it was a flag or should have been an ejection and all the rest of it. That had a review process. They go to New York, they review it, and they decided in New York that was an ejection. In the NBA, you've got 10 gigantic bodies. You've got 3 refs all trying to adjudicate, and there's contact on every play. It's very difficult.
Listen, it must be impossible because
Ryan Forte, David Guthrie.
Yeah, it must be impossible because these are the best in the world at it, and we're mad after almost every game. So I get
Both
that.
sides.
I get that. the thing that got me in the NFL yesterday is, and you can pull report, you can talk till we're blue. There is no way that man. Even and you and I talk, I don't even think it was a penalty. But I get in today's climate, okay, flag it. There's 0 chance he gets ejected if that's not a quarterback. 0. And nobody can convince me otherwise. If you watch
show's over.
No. If you watch that in slow motion, what they essentially said was he was down. He was down first, and so he had options as to other things to do other than come into contact with Justin Herbert and his helmet. If you watch it, the knee hits literally a split second before contact with Dre Greenlaw.
But
Greenlaw's entire body motion has already been airborne to hit Justin.
Airborne. Interesting you say airborne.
Airborne. That's how you tackle.
You're not allowed to go airborne with your helmet in front. I'll show you the rules.
Point difference clause.
I'm going rules on him again.
Not point difference clause because here's
Chapter 1, Section 4
here's
of the NFL rule
Here's
book.
a great writing. You're not allowed to lead with your helmet. I'm sorry. Do I need to take my head off of its body and put it on my butt?
It's funny you said that earlier.
You can't run and dive and be like, I'd like to lead with a different part of my body. Maybe should we scissor kick? Like this is
Tom
stupid.
Brady with the scissor kick.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
Mark,
the whole thing is impossible.
I've had this theory, and it's been like maybe 3 years. And Kyler is one of and Russ is very good at it. There's an offensive technique into I'm running and scrambling around, and at the last second I'm going to slide into
totally.
you.
Russell Wilson's great at it.
That wasn't that play, but I'm saying like it's not all the way to the hardened play, but I feel like what you're doing is you're taking the rule and you've now given so much to the offense, it's impossible to play defense on that play.
And the NFL has done a great job of going helmet to helmet. And so now the fans, I had 49 fans coming down my road.
On Ayuk. I saw it from the stands.
All of a sudden, if 2 helmets hit, that's a penalty.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not the way the rule's written. He's a runner.
Yeah.
And he dove with, wait for it, his helmet forward.
Yeah.
And the two glance off of one another.
I love your use of glance.
It was not the crown of his helmet.
Doesn't have to be the crown of the helmet.
It does.
Look at the rules.
There's
nothing that says crown of the helmet. And also, by the way, if you are propelling yourself in I don't think the word is horizontal, but if you are basically toward parallel to the ground, you as a defender are in violation if your helmet comes into contact.
Like I said, it's time to scissor kick because we can't leave it with the helmet
Tom Brady.
Hittner used to get full vertical like this as I got my hand above the ground. Full vertical leading with the shoulder, and you're just not allowed to do that anymore. I mean, I don't even know how Hittner would have played in this league.
Yeah, the bigger issue, like to me, this is it's emblematic of a much bigger thing, and we can have rules and we can read and we can look at highlights.
So what do you think they should do?
The bottom line is this is about quarterbacks. We watch it every single week.
You keep saying it's quarterbacks, and you're right because
it's quarterbacks.
Remember a couple years ago they were like, we're going to penalize running backs for ducking their head.
Yeah,
we're trying to truck somebody.
I don't see that ever.
I don't see that
ever.
And I see running backs do it all the time.
We watch roughing the passer 5 to 7 times.
It's ridiculous.
Turn on Red Zone. You're going to watch at least 5 to 7 a week where the player literally has no choice. I saw someone, I think it was the Bears game against Goff. He's going at Goff.
Yeah.
Goff throws the ball. He turns his body, holds up, kind of gives him like a hip, like little bump, like two people on a dance floor.
Like he's boxing out.
And like literally right after the ball, he goes, just kind of hip, flag 15 yards. I'm like, I don't know.
Shout out Dan Campbell.
I don't know what they're supposed to do.
That's a good win for them. No, but like the Josh Allens of the world, he's 6'6", 240 or whatever. Mm-hmm. He's running late in that game, and I'm thinking, okay, you're in the open field. Normally, game on. Like a linebacker or safety would try to take him out. And he just kind of goes down knowing that no one can hit him, and he's just going to kind of use his body to lean forward. It's just, I don't know how you play defense, man. It's hard.
Well, and it's fostering resentment in the defensive player. Take it to your family. If you favor one kid over the other, you foster resentment. Did you guys hear Jimmy Ward yesterday?
Yeah.
Jimmy Ward after the game is like, I wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
I wanted to kill him. I don't care that he's a quarterback. As a defensive player, I want him to feel me. I think their point is there's nothing we can do, so we're just going to take the penalties because we physically cannot do what they're asking us to do.
Jimmy Ward, nice open field tackles yesterday.
On Eckler.
Big time. Woos.
They were
at
good.
The University of Virginia.
They were
football
good.
players dead.
Saw that story. Still details emerging, but it was it's a terrible, terrible situation.
You saw the way their football game started. 2 pick sixes right off the rip against Pitt. Yuck. All right, boys, have a good show.